Hello and welcome to another episode of the Classical Republican. So this video should be seen as the culmination of all the sortition videos because we're going to be talking about the Ostbelgian model. So if you haven't seen my other videos on some other, the history or the other interviews I've done on sortition, please go and see those first and then watch this video. So this is the Ostbelgian model. In the southeast corner of Belgium, where everyone speaks German, there's about 80,000 people. And they have a permanent body composed by sortition that helps make laws for their region. So this was given to me, a lot of this information comes from Ives de Gary. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I'm sorry if I'm not. Please excuse me. But he was very helpful. Didn't have time for an interview, but he sent me this information. He sent me the decree establishing a permanent citizens dialogue on the German-speaking community, which had to be translated. And so thanks to him for that. And so let's get into it. So one of the things he sent me was this great graphic. If you look over here in the top left, you have political parties and government. So you still have, the regular government, and you can kind of just insert this wherever you are. You have citizens and civil society, of course, and that's what you should have everywhere. So you have three main bodies and one guy. So you have the citizen council, the citizen assemblies, and then the regional parliament, which was already established. It was already there. You had to, that's how they make laws anyway. And this just kind of fits into it so that you have a more democratic process using sortition. Then at the bottom there, you have the permanent secretary, which is one guy currently. I was kind of said that, I don't know, it gave me the impression that they eventually want to have a bigger staff there. So let's get into it. We have the Citizen Council, 25 to, I'm sorry, go backwards. You have 24 citizens. They're chosen at random from among previous citizen assembly members. And so they have 18-month-long mandates. And every 6 months, 1/3 of them are rotating in and out. So rotation. So that's really good. I think Harrington would approve. They also elect a president to chair their meetings from amongst themselves. So that shows that they have a lot of autonomy there. They're able to conduct themselves, elect their own officers. So that's quite a good innovation there, I think. Now, if they do not have consensus, then they can have a majority vote of 2/3, and also 2/3 is a quorum of the membership. They are given some compensation, 37.50 in euro, so 37 euros and 50 cents. And they're also given travel costs, so this is not a burden on them. So I'm sorry, the 37.50 is for 4 hours of meeting, and if it goes longer, it will double. So it's kind of an increment of 4 hours. That's what they get for 4 hours of work. Now, it is their duty to submit a precise question for the citizen assemblies. So in this graphic, it says that it is a permanent body. And so it is a permanent body, but 1/3 is being switched out every 6 months. They select the topics and monitor implementation. So they also they also supervise and can give directions to the permanent secretariat. As you can see here, who organizes the lottery to select citizens, organizational and administrative, provides administrative support. Let's go into a little bit more on the permanent secretariat. They are appointed by the head clerk of Parliament, and they're appointed from among the members of parliamentary staff. Okay, so they've already been vetted by Parliament. They got hired, and so they know how Parliament works, and they've been it's usually somebody who's pretty experienced, and so they can help these citizens council and citizens assemblies know that this is what this is how you need to talk to Parliament if you're going to suggest something, make a recommendation that might not be very popular. So, although that's the whole point of this, is to get popular, to really question the popularity, although it might not be popular with a certain section of society, of civil society. So let's go on to the citizen assemblies. So those are created after the citizen council has come up with a precise question, and the citizen assemblies are comprised of 25 to 50 randomly selected people. Now here in the graphic it says it has to have a balance in terms of age, gender, education, place of residence. Okay, so even though this is a very small part of Belgium, they still want to have a very diverse representation by geography. So that's important to them. But even though those are in code, you want to have you can have other categories, different demographics, if needed by topic. Okay, so these aren't the be all end all of the demographics that they select for the citizen assemblies in Belgium. So they last 3 months, and they deliberate and propose to make a more better formulated proposal to Parliament. Okay. Now let's see. Now they have a different. Of course, they want to make decisions by consensus, but they have a different requirement. They have to have a 4/5 vote to have a final decision. If they can't get that, they have to keep working at it. Now, if they have a 4/5, they are allowed to submit a minority report. So that 1/5 that did not agree, they're allowed to submit a minority report to Parliament, and they also get the same compensation, 37.50, 4 hours, and transportation costs. Okay, so that's what we got. That's how it works. If you have any questions, please put that please put that in the comments, and if I can't answer it, then I will go back to Ives and see if he can answer it. So now I've been thinking about James Harrington a lot, and how sortition could fit into his ideas, his ideas could fit into this sortition. And of course, Harrington was big on separating the right of proposal and the right to resolve. So in his Oceana, you have the right to propose by the Senate and the right to resolve by the prerogative tribe, which was, the Senate was 300 full time. They 3-year terms, but they also had the prerogative tribe, which would resolve. That they had the right to resolve. That was 1,050 people who rotated even more often. So here you have the Citizen Council, which proposes. You have the Citizen Assembly, which formulates a more concise proposal to submit to Parliament. Okay, so it's kind of been switched on its head, from Harrington's idea, but that's kind of what we have today. Unless you're talking about a referendum, depending on the on where you're talking about in the Constitution. The people don't resolve unless it is a referendum. And so when you have these things, even advisory councils, different commissions, usually they submit a proposal and it goes to the legislature for the final resolution. Okay, so I hope that's all I have today. I hope you found this very interesting. This could be the future. A lot of people, see the Ostbelgian model as the future of sortition, of making it more permanent and establishing it, as a regular part of governance in what we call liberal democracy, but in actuality, in ideological history, is actually a part of classical republicanism. So until next time, long live the Republic.